I'm saying? You said I just forcibly brought you here. I gotta do what I gotta do, man. You feel me? Hey, I ain't gonna lie, I'm about to make a poll, though, y'all. Hey, man, I'm like that, bro. You know what I'm saying? I'm about to ask y'all a question, though. Yeah, I had to bring you here by force, man. You feel me? Let's see something. Reaction. Game reaction. My bad, but I ain't meant to do that, man. I'm sorry. I ain't mean to make you a set stalker. My apologies, bro. But yeah, hey, y'all vote on the poll, man. I'm gonna give y'all some time though, cause I don't know what y'all want me to do. I need to change this title actually though. Why do I have the same title as the last one I was on live? I'm bad, y'all. Damn, I'm trying to do my thing. Okay. I'm trying to fix my title, but my title is boo boo. But yeah, everybody vote though, man. Whatever y'all want, let me know. Whatever y'all want, let me know, man. Let me know. Give y'all some time, man. I've been on. I don't know how long I've been on stream. Nah, I still don't know how to change. I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. I ain't gonna lie. I still don't know how to do it. And that's my problem. I need to add something white so y'all can see it. Let me see something. Why is that really? You know what? I don't know. But y'all let me know y'all want. Y'all let me know what y'all want me to do. Yeah, y'all let me know what y'all want me to do, man. Real talk. I can skip this. Let me do my screen so y'all can see it. Yeah, like I said, y'all let me know. I'm gonna give y'all some time to vote because I don't know what y'all want me to do. Yeah, I got to find a way to change that text though. But I don't really know how to do it for real though. I ain't gonna lie to you. I got to do some research when I get off stream, bro. Because I know y'all want to see that though. So yeah, y'all just let me know. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to give y'all some time because I don't want to. I don't know what y'all want me to do. Trying to get y'all some time to vote. Yeah, what's good, Candy? Trying to see what everybody want me to do. I'm just waiting on y'all to tell me what I want me to do. I'm in allowed 6 minutes, and the votes are equal. You say any new movies and shows that I watch? I ain't gonna lie, I just started Euphoria. I ain't gonna lie, I just started Euphoria. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm talking about on episode 1. I just started Euphoria. So y'all don't like Euphoria? What's wrong with Euphoria? It's bad or something? You said that's a girl show? Yo, I don't know what y'all want me to do. Bro, are the votes equal? Yeah, what's good, man? I don't know what we gonna do. I don't know what I'm gonna do, y'all. I'm trying to see how the votes looking before I make a decision, but the votes looking equal. I don't know. So I don't know what y'all want me to do. Yo, the votes are really equal. I don't know what y'all want me to do. Hold on, let me see something. Yo, y'all, the votes really equal. I don't know what y'all want me to do. He said, why that Clyde? I have no idea. I don't know what's going on. So I'm just waiting on y'all to tell me what y'all want me to do. The votes equal. I can't even say democracy rule because everybody vote the same thing. Alright, gaming reaction got the most, so I'm about to play the game right now, man. Let me get my controller. She's grooving, she's moving. I don't know, y'all. Let me connect it to my my PC. Okay, it's connected. Alright, let me sign in. Oh, jump. got Grand Theft Auto 6. I gotta see this. 25 old bucks? Man, what who paying that? Not me. Yeah, alright, bro. But why all these games cost? 25? Bro, I'm not paying no 25, bro. Bro, I'm not paying no 25, bro. Yeah, alright. What's some of the money out? Y'all, I might play Pet Simulator. But I'm not paying no 25 old bucks, so I'm not doing that, bro. Oh, y'all got 2 controllers. I didn't tell y'all. Got another controller there. Actually, put it on there. Go to the next level, bro. Wait, what the next level is? Oh, jump. Oh, right here, okay. I don't know why I was there, huh? I'm not paying no 25, bro. No, I'm not about to do that. I don't care about that merchant, man. She's moving, she's grooving, she's dancing to the music now. Yeah. Well, I'm not paying no 25 for GTA 6, bro. I feel like it's a waste of money, bro. You know what? Give me a minute. I'll do it after I complete this level, bro. I'll do it for y'all because I love y'all, bro. If I pay 25 and it's not worth it, it's gonna be a problem, bro. I'm not playing. I'm not playing, bro. It's gonna be a problem. I don't care about no traveling merchant, bro. I don't care about the traveling merchant. Fuck the traveling merchant. But what the next level is, bro? Oh, there it is. 65K. Yeah. I gotta get some money on y'all. I'm broke. I ain't got 65K. You know what? You probably right. It probably is worth it. We're gonna give it a try, bro. It probably is worth it. We're gonna give it a try. Try for y'all, bro. I'm only doing it for y'all, bro. I'm doing it for y'all, bro. Matter of fact, I got you. Let's do it. Let's go ahead and do it, bro. I'm telling you, this better be worth it, bro. Wait, Lambo. I need that. I need that Lambo. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, I like the game, man. I don't know, I like the game. But I favor it, though. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how to like it, but I favor it, though. Shoot. Hey, shoot, man. That's it. Hey, man, it took us so long, man. Don't tell me I'll spend on these road bus for no reason, bro. I know I ain't got no look. Oh, okay. Okay. I got a Lambo? Okay. Hold on, how you shoot? Hold on, how you shoot? Hey, chill. I ain't want to smoke. I ain't want to smoke. How you running? You got to buy run? Man, boy, get out my face, man. You have to pay to run? I'm not doing that, man. You got to pay to run? Man, yeah, they having mine, bro. I just bought the Lambo. I can't get the Lambo? Man, hold on, cuz. How you shoot? I don't know how to shoot. How you shoot? Yo, I don't know how to shoot, y'all. Oh my goodness, I don't know how to shoot. Hold on. Yo. How you shoot? Man. Excuse me. Nah, I don't know how to shoot, y'all. Real talk. I don't know how to shoot. Hold on, let me see. You aim with R2, which is weird. I don't know how to shoot, though. Yo, I don't know how to shoot. Hold on, bro. How you shoot? Bruh. Well, don't tell me you got to pay to shoot, too, man. Alright, bro. You have to pay to shoot? Man, this game here is a ripoff, bro. like this. I'm stuck. Let me get out of the car, bro. Bro, I just got stuck. Press F. Oh my goodness. Come now I say press F. Man, I ain't got no F, man. I'm not playing on the PC. Now I say press F. Oh my goodness, bro. Now I say press F, y'all. Press F. What you mean press F? Bro, I need the controls on this game, man. Where the controls are, bro? Oh my goodness, bro. Yo, this is actually hilarious, but I can't do nothing, man. I don't know how to start it up. Let's see. Oh, I ain't gonna pass this. Damn, I don't really know how to play. Hold on. Super admin. I want to know how to drive. How you start? Oh my goodness, bro. This one I like playing. This one I like playing this on the P5, bro. Hold on. I think I see some of y'all. Hey class, I don't know what I'm doing, class. Somebody help me now. Somebody help me. Somebody help me. What else would you be doing? Somebody help me. Okay, you know what it is. You want to get out of this car, bro. Oh, okay. They go to the controls. I like that. Shut down, yes. Clutch, R1, handbrake, transmission mode. Yo, did I just? Oh my goodness. Hold on, y'all. I didn't turn the turn signal on. Yo, y'all, my braking system on. Y'all see this? Oh my goodness, y'all, my braking system is on. Y'all, my braking system is my goodness. Okay, let's get out the deep end. This car is just stuck. I don't know how to get it out from that area. Okay. Let's check the controllers. It's hazard lights. It's a turn signal. Hazard lights. Hold on, bro. Bro, these controls are low-key complicated, y'all. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. These controls are very complicated. I have to learn these controls, bro. Hold on, let me go back in here, bro. These controls are very complicated. I'm not gonna lie to you. Handbrake. Man, that ain't no handbrake, man. That's how I get my gun. Was the car really stuck? my braking lights on, bro? Man, hold on. How they shift? How you shift again? Oh, wow. It's kind of hard. I ain't gonna lie, y'all. It's kind of hard to drive. When you drive, it put me in first person view. I don't know. Shoot, man. And I can't run. Wait, why the car ain't neutral? Oh, the engine is off. I forgot I can't run. Oh my goodness, bro. I forgot I can't run, y'all. I forgot I can't run. You control the same for everything? How you switch gears, bro? Oh, transmission. Oh, wait, okay. Alright, man. Alright, okay, leave. Let's try this one. Oh, I gotta walk back over here. I can't run. Hey, y'all, this L gameplay, bro. L gameplay, bro. L gameplay, man. Again. How do you switch the thing? Why is it stuck on neutral? Man, I cannot get this out of neutral, bro. I don't know, y'all. It's just stuck in neutral, man. I don't know what's going on, bro. I'm trying, y'all. I don't know what I'm doing. You telling me I paid 25 old? You telling me I paid 25 old bucks for this, bro? Shoot, bro. How do you shoot? Oh my goodness. I don't know how to shoot, bro. Oh my goodness. I don't know how to shoot, y'all. Hey, my bad, TS. I ain't meant to hurt your ears, bro. I'm sorry. I'm trying to learn how to play, but I don't know how to play. I'm trying to switch to this voice, but I don't know how to. Right? But you don't have no gas? That's what I'm looking at? I don't think the car got no gas, yo. I don't think the car got no gas. That's why I can't go. And the gas station right there. I forgot, you really have to pay to run, bro. This is actually hilarious. You have to pay to run. You have to pay to run, bro. I never met a game you gotta pay to run. Like, what even is it? You have to pay to run. Man, what? And the gas station close. Man, y'all got. Oh, there you go. My bad, y'all. The game's so bad, bro. The game's so bad, my Wi-Fi just lagged. I hate that. I hate that. Look at this, bro. Look at this. Oh. Oh, you shooting me. Hey, whoa. Whoa. Ain't want no smoke, gang. Hey, I ain't want no smoke, chill. I ain't want no smoke. I ain't want no smoke, chill. I ain't want no smoke. I ain't want no smoke. I ain't want no smoke. I ain't want no moat. I don't want no moat. I don't want no smoke, man. Hey, what I'm hearing in my ear? I'm hearing an echo. What's going on? I hear echo. Hold on. I ain't tripping, huh? What is that shooting? I hear it in my left ear. Hold on. What's going on? Hold on. Oh, tight. Mess up on this one. Oh, yeah, I'm out of there. Drive out. Yo. I ain't gonna lie, I hate driving like that, bro. It's hard to drive like that, bro. Like, my vision is bad. I can't drive like that, bro. I don't know how to shoot, bro. I think I have to pay to shoot. Like, yo, I really think I have to pay to shoot, bro. I'm so serious, bro. I think I have to pay to shoot. Oh my goodness. I think I have to pay to shoot, bro. How is everybody shooting at me? I don't know. I need some controls or something, man. Where the controls at? Everybody can shoot us at me, man. Everybody can shoot us at me. Oh my goodness. And these controls ain't no better, bro. These controls ain't no better. My kids can't even jump. Look at this. What is that? Man. I ain't never seen a game where you aim with R2. Mind you, I'm left-handed, so I can aim with R2 and shoot with left, but ain't nothing working though. That was making me mad. Hey man, you really have to pay to run. Man, this is actually insane, bro. Hey, but who told me to play this game, bro? Man, you got to pay to run. Weather control. Nobody care about no weather control. It's a crash over there. What is that? Oh, I ain't know what it was. Oh, it's a transition. Yo, like, I can't shoot. Hey, I'm about to talk to somebody, but how do you shoot in this game, bro? How you shoot? Hold on, let me see. Bro, I'm not sure how you shoot, man. I say on controller. Yo, come on, man. Yo, come on, but I can't even type, man. I ain't gonna lie, y'all don't really like this game, bro. I ain't gonna lie, I don't really like this game, bro. I really don't like this game. I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. I don't really like this game, bro. This game kind of laggy. I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. The way it zoom in is kind of weird, man. I'm not gonna lie to y'all, bro. He's shooting at me. I don't know how to shoot. Look at this. I don't know how to shoot. I'm trying to shoot. It is not working. Look at this. Look at this, bro. I don't know how to shoot, man. Of course, nobody said nothing. Of course, nobody said nothing, bro. I don't know how to do nothing, man. I am unstoppable. Unstoppable. Well, I really can't run. I really have to walk everywhere I go. Stand. Do you know that's the word that you do? Yeah. I don't know what I'm trying to do, honestly. Yeah, I'm gonna try to change the chat to white, man. I don't like that as black. I'm about to just drive around, cause I don't really know what else I really can do. Yeah. I think this game meant for people on PC. I think this game meant for people on PC. Yeah. Who? Yeah. I'm trying. I want to draw that Porsche, man, but I can't get it to work. Porsche don't want to work, man. Man, bro, I want my money back, man. I want my money back. I want my money back, bro. I want my money back. I'm not playing. I want my money back now, man. I want my money back, bro. Can't believe I spent 25 old bucks, man. Can't believe I spent all this money, man. I know what I got going on, but I don't know why I even did that. Oh, man. Okay, I'll make sure. I wish I got my money back, man. I thought somebody trying to run up on me. I really have to pay to run. This is actually hilarious, but I'm not paying to run, bro. I'm not doing that, bro. Why would I pay to run? Yeah, alright. Oh God, that's all I'm doing is walking, but I don't know what else to do, bro. He said, bro, skinny and candy, not too much, man. Listen, I ate a whole box of pizza, bro. Come on, bro. Real talk. I ate a whole box of pizza. I ate a whole box of pizza, man. Real. Yeah, I ate a whole box. Man, this car kind of far, man. Yeah, I ate a whole box of pizza, bro. I ate the whole thing, y'all. What's up? The first boy to eat and lose weight. Hey, Kenny, I'm sending you the ISS, bro, for that comment, bro. I'm sending you the ISS, bro. I'm sending you the ISS, bro. Yes, I ate a whole slice, bro. This car stuck, I think. I ate all of it. Yeah, I ate all 8 slices, y'all. You ate all that still lost weight. You know what? I'm gonna tired of y'all playing with me, bro. I'm getting tired of y'all playing with me, bro. I'm getting tired of y'all playing with me, bro. What you mean in one sitting, no way? What y'all trying to say? Like, what y'all trying to say, bro? I'm confused. Like, what is y'all trying to say? Cap, skinny man. Alright, man. So now we capping. See, I'm about to eat right now. They got a piece of her, but I'm about to eat right now, bro. I'm about to eat right now, bro. Real talk. See if I can go in. Did I say pizza hot? Boy, that's hilarious, boy. But what the work is it? Man, I'm trying to get me a pizza, man. Let me get a pizza. Trying to get a pizza. I can't get no pizza. I'm trying to get it. I just got stuck. Oh, I thought I got stuck. Trying to get me a pizza, bro. So, what's up with all these cars, bro? What happened to this car here? Cap, you're not gonna eat it. Alright, bro. How he even did this, bro? Oh, look at the wheel. Yo, look at the wheel, bro. Yo, look at the wheel. But who did this, bro? Boy, look at the wheel. No wonder, bro. Bro, the wheel is atrocious. That's why, bro. Boy, like, why is the wheel so bad, bro? Dang. Hey, y'all, at least I know how to switch gears. I'm gonna see if I can switch that Porsche gears, though. Let me go back to the Porsche, bro. Alright, y'all. Oh, whoa, whoa, hey, chill. I ain't want no smoke. I ain't want no smoke, now. I ain't want no smoke. Oh man, she took the car. She just started running. Oh, there you go. This car ran out of gas, man. Yo, you know what? Y'all. Oh, the handbrake is on. Okay. I'm glad you said that. Oh, you right, brother. Oh, hold on, you was right. Hold on. You was right. It wasn't the handbrakes. Oh, hey. Too powerful for me, bro. Hold on, no. Too powerful for me, now. Hold on, no. Hey, hold on. I can drive. It's hard because of my vision. I can drive like this. I can't drive like this. Right, I can change the keyboards. I gotta go back to the other car though. Yeah, cause I don't like that. Zoom in with us. I don't like that. Oh, yeah, shit. Oh, I tried to brake. I tried to brake. I forgot the car brakes is horrible. Why the car won't back up? Oh my goodness, look at this BS. I can't get out of this. Side of the car, I hear the engine on my left ear. When I'm on this side of the car, I hear it on my right ear, bro. I don't know if they like that for y'all. That's kind of cool, bro. Right here, I can hear it on both ears. And right here, I'm on. I'm trying to figure out why the backup barrel not right though. It's crazy, like I can hear it. Look, when I switch my character, it switched ears, bro. That's kind of cool. I don't know if y'all can hear it, but I can hear it. You see, I might be the only person in the game. I think I'm in. What's up? I seriously do think I'm in. Bro, how this car got flip over? Oh my goodness, bro. My kids. I'm about to see if I get a police car, bro. I can't get a police car. But how this car just flip over like that, bro? Oh, I flipped it over. But I don't know how to start this car though, bro. This car, I don't know how to start it though. Yeah, I don't know how to start this though. I don't know how to start that. So it's 10:38. I ain't ever seen 10:38. Hey Sean, you trying to play again? Hey man, man, I don't know. I'm just glad I got to draw the porch, even though the steering of this game kind of boo boo though. But I know I haven't done anything this whole time. All I'm doing is wasting time, bro. I don't know how to shoot a gun on or nothing. You know what? Yeah, that's my cutie off this game, bro. That's my cutie off this game, bro. That's my cutie off this game. I really spent 25 Robux and I can't get that back. I really spent 25 Robux and I can't get it back. I don't know, bro. That boy Sean playing block shoot. I'm not playing that game. I'm gonna get done dirty. I ain't real good at that game. You hear me? Dude, I ain't playing that. Yeah, we can. I'm getting tired of playing GTA. I'm getting tired of GTA, bro. Man, there ain't no WGTA nothing, bro. Just pick a game, bro. Whatever you want to play, let me know. That boy got a Batmobile. Son, where your car at, son? Hey, what the race at? Yeah, I ain't gonna lie, son. I don't know the race at, son. You know the race at? I don't know the race at. You know the race at? You want to teleport? Alright, bet. Alright, let me know which one you did so I can go to yours. Highway. Cinematic, mathematic. Yo! Where the world, bro? Yo, what? Bro, y'all seen me just flip, bro? Bro, I just flipped, bro. Yo, son, I just flipped, son. Bro, I just flipped mid-race, bro. Hey, Sean, we gotta do 4 more races so we can make some money, bro. Hey, Sean, do a highway race again. Go back to the highway. Do the highway again. Sean, you still got some money, yeah? We gotta do 3 more races. What race you wanna do? You can pick. What race you wanna do? It's up to you. Drag. Alright. Whoa. Almost crashed, man. Alright, this. I ain't gonna lie, Sean, that car got cheating, bro. I'm gonna get a slower car, bro. I ain't gonna do you like that, bro. Gotta do one more race, John. We gonna get 18,000, bro. Oh, I ain't gonna do that. car got stuck, bro. Alright, son, what you trying to do now, son? Let me know. How you even go to the dealership? I forgot. Y'all just spin wheels in that thumbnail. I'm glad you know. How much this car cost? Is this car fast, so bro? I don't want to get in it slow. She don't mind fast and burning. Yo, what? Hey, look at this toot, bro. I need that. It's free. Can't go wrong with free, man. I got a Nissan. Hold on, let me hear that song one time. Okay. I don't want no Land Rover. I don't know, bro. Alright, man, I need to find a fast car, though, bro. I need top speed. $15,000. That's too much for me, bro. I spend no $15,000. I ain't spend no 15 million for no car, bro. Who doing that? Not me. Wait, this car fast? I ain't faster than my car though. Yeah, I meant to say 15 million. I meant to say 15K. Hey, chill, bro. Chill. We seen GTA 6, y'all. Chill. Man, oh my goodness, bro. Chill, bro. Chill. I'm gonna save it for this car. It's 3 million. Let me get this. I'm gonna get that car. I'm save it for that. Well, my hands hurt. Oh my goodness, my hand hurt. Ah, damn, my hand hurt. Ah, fruit. She said about it. Think about it. She dancing, she grooving. It sounds like you know you upgrade your car. Huh. No, I could have sworn I played this shit, but they brought me right back here. Yo, I can't leave? Yo, they won't let me leave? I'm about to say. Bro, what's going on, bro? why they have my cancel stuck with they, bro? I came in until okay, bro. Oh, that's not my car. I'm tripping. I can't upgrade my car if I wanted to. So I always want to do. I'm tripping. Yo, they got a Ford Mustang? Yeah. What race you want to do, son? where I just fell in the water. Hey, Sean, go to the Daytona 500, bro. I want to see how that is. Go to the Daytona, bro. Oh, we got a NASCAR. I got one. You got NASCAR? You need NASCAR. You got one? You don't got a NASCAR? Oh, you on a highway base? Oh, yeah. Come on. You gotta see how this is. Ah, la, 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 la. Lagging, but I can't. Oh, look at this dude. Oh, I'm about to lose. Oh, my goodness. Yo, it's not me, bro. It's moving by itself, bro. Can't even control myself, man. Like, what's going on, bro? Yo, come on, bro. Took longer than it even take, bro. Yo, that race took longer than it even take, bro. Sean, where you at, Sean? Sean, come here. I gotta make some money. Might see if I can beat my old record. Oh, you gotta be kidding me, bro. I gotta do it again, bro. There ain't no way, man. Oh my goodness, bro. I don't like that. That was bad. That was horrible, bro. That was horrible. Damn, man. Oh, I beat it again? Hey, bet. Hey, I'm just beating my record, man. I ain't playing, bro. Alright, man, I'm tired of playing that game, bro. Hey, Sean, bro, I'm gonna see if I get a win on Rivals, man. See if I get a win on Rivals, bro. If you feel like playing, and after that, about to react to some videos, y'all. gosh, bro. Ah, hey, my bad, Sean. Invite me again. I ain't seen it, bro. My fault. Ah, invite me again. Invite me again. I did not see it. My bad. Make sure my MacBook ain't running hot. I ain't running hot. I ain't running hot. I had to make sure. Oh my goodness, I can't shoot him. Ah, he sniped me. Damn. That's what I'm saying. Somebody named Toenail is crazy. What type of weapon you got? You got a slingshot. That boy trying to kill somebody with a slingshot. Ah, shoot, boy, that would be. I ain't thought they were gonna do that. That boy got a sling, that boy got a shot. Oh, I see somebody. Oh, my. Oh, bro, look at this, bro. Dang, I can't even shoot him. He not even good, bro. No. Oh my goodness, bro. This lag is so horrible, man. I can't even do nothing, man. I gotta miss some better Wi-Fi, bro. You need a hotspot or something, bro. Oh my god, it just turned me around for no reason, bro. Hey man, that's it, son. I ain't playing no more, bro. No, I'm not playing no more, bro. I'm not. Either way, bro. It's my last game. I'm not playing them after this, bro. I'm lagging too bad, bro. It messing me up, bro. It messing me up, bro. I'm not doing this no more, bro. I can't even aim how I want to aim. Yeah, he's moving by itself. I'm not even, look. I'm not even doing nothing, but it's moving by itself, bro. I don't know why remote play so bad. This is why I don't like doing it. This is why I don't like playing remote play. Look at this. I'm not even doing nothing. Oh, that's actually insane, bro. Oh my goodness, bro. Bro, it's basically a 4v4. So I ain't gonna be able to do nothing. Oh, look at this. Oh my goodness. Oh, he at hey! Oh, I see him. What's going on? What's going on? Yo, what's come on, bro? What's going on, bro? I can't even jump. Oh my goodness, bro. Ah, I can't even shoot him. My character is spinning his own direction, bro. Oh my goodness, bro. She's moving, she's grooving. Yeah. Dang, son, what he just got you like that, bro? Ah, I can't control it, man. Ah. Oh my goodness, look at this, bro. Oh my god, yo. Bro, I can't even move how I wanna move, huh? Yo, at this point, I'm about to just count. Bro, what? Yo, I'm about to just count, man, at this point, bro. Y'all, after this, we watching the thing, bro. Oh, I see him in the air. Hold on. Oh, never mind. They already got him. Bro. Ah, this lag messing me up, man. Who's shooting me, bro? Oh my goodness. associated. We won? Man, one more win, y'all. We good, bro. I'm telling you, I can't do nothing either, man. Like, bro, my cat's just walking into the walls, man. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my God, bro. She did something new, man. Who you telling I can't hit a shot either, bro? Bro, two people died at the same time? Ain't no way, bro. Oh my goodness, this lag is horrible. I'm getting off there. I'm getting off. I don't want to play no more, bro. I'm getting off, bro. I don't want to play no more. Alright, we got a video, man. Listen, hold on, let me pull it up. Alright, that's good. You say I'm so butt? I ain't gonna say nothing, but it is what it is. It don't matter. Alright, y'all. So I would. Alright, let me put my choke my bed up. Alright, y'all. So this is called 3 True Serial Killers Horror Stories Animated. Oh, we won? That's crazy. We won. But I left though, bro. I'm sorry. I had to leave. I don't care. I'm glad we won though, bro. Yeah, it is. Pre-Jeanette, Stalker Still, you probably right. It said 3 true serial killers. We about to find out if it's Jeanette or not.
I'm an old woman now, retired, nice, quiet life. I spend a lot of time listening to podcasts, especially the true crime ones. Some nights I hear stories that sound awfully familiar.
Well, my brightness is kind of high, bro. It's blinding me a little bit. Man, cut my brightness. Why am I brightness so high? I don't want it black like that. My brightness is high on the right.
And here's one you might have never heard before. This happened in the mid-1980s when I was barely 20 years old. I went to a community college in the Midwest, boring, flat, windy, accented with brick buildings. I was out of town, so I lived in the dorms for convenience and to try to save some money. There were 6 of us total inside one unit. We each had a small private bedroom, but we shared this nice long common room and one bathroom. The walls there were thin, cheap carpet accompanied them, and you could hear everything: music, phone calls, people crying, or, well, doing other things. Marcy was loud all the time, even when she was asleep. Donna never left the dorm, only studied. Tish liked attention, if you know what I mean. And Kelly liked horror movies and wore a lot of black. Sharon talked to her parents on the phone every Friday for at least a couple of hours. And then you get to me. I got good grades, had a part-time job, and mostly just kept to myself. Although I did like the occasional party or concert.
I run a podcast, so
A lot more school in front of us, and since we all got along, we elected to board together again the following semester, for a few months, then it was goodbye. That summer, when students were mostly gone, a girl was found half dead just off campus inside an alley.
Half what?
I didn't know her, and I don't think any of us did. The news said that her injuries were bad enough the police thought that she might have been hit by a car and then dragged into the alley itself, an accident that had turned ugly. People talked about it where I lived for a few days, at the diner, on the radio. Then it kind of just faded into background noise. The police didn't say much, and without any more details, it was easy to think it was just kind of random. By the time the fall semester had started, we all moved back into the dorm, and the alley was a place people continued to avoid at night. But the second girl was found 3 weeks into that fall semester.
A second girl
This
was
time,
found?
no one tried to offer any kind of reasons.
Oh, no.
It was the same part of town, but a different alley. The police still didn't release any more details, but everybody could already see the pattern forming. The campus changed almost overnight. More patrol cars, warning flyers taped up to doors, a meeting in the dorm where the director told us not to walk alone at night and to trust our instincts. But we didn't even know what we were looking for. And, of course, we were already afraid. So we start pairing up. Late night classes demanded us to stick together. Trips to the store became group outings now. The bars near campus emptied out earlier than usual. Men we didn't recognize stood out like glowing red flags. Not long after, the third girl's found, and we realized exactly how powerless we truly were. Nothing anyone did or was doing was saving them. After that, the police stopped hedging. They weren't issuing graphic warnings. Curfews were fully enforced. They said they believed the killer was a local, a man acting alone, likely in his 30s or 40s, and very familiar with the area itself. Of course, again, that description didn't really narrow anything down, and it made everybody look suspicious. But because of the sudden information dump, the murders actually stopped for a while. Weeks would pass, nothing new. No arrests, no new bodies. That silence was haunting. People relaxed just enough to function, but still nobody felt safe. We kept our door locked at all times, and lights stayed on at night. Hell, Kelly even stopped watching horror movies. We didn't say it out loud, but we all believed the same thing. He's still out there, lurking at the edges of our vision, waiting to jump on the most vulnerable person he could find. That weekend, a girl from another dorm ended up filing a police report. She said a man followed her home from a bar. He stayed behind her the entire walk, never spoke, but was aggressive in his pursuit. Thinking this was the killer, she wasted no time acting. When she cut through the alley, he followed. When she ran, he ran. This alley normally turned into a dead end, but to this woman's fortune, a business had its back door open for a routine cleaning. She slipped into the open business just before the man reached her. But of course, by the time the police arrived, the man was gone. That story moved around like a bad rumor. This girl lived. She could describe him. Tall, dark jacket, work boots, ordinary, but seemed beyond fury. Sunday night, I think around 11, all 6 of us were inside the common room, studying, folding laundry, just trying to keep busy. Outside, the campus was quiet, being patrolled by the police. Then somebody knocked on our door. 1, 2, 3 times. Everybody froze. Marcy leaned toward the people and looked, and her breath hitched. It's a cop. I looked next. The man was in uniform, but something about it felt off. I didn't recognize the insignia on the patch.
Man, no cop.
Open the door, he said. There's a situation nearby. I need to check your unit. Donna shook her head, eyes bugging out of her head. Sharon whispered, this can't be real. Kelly didn't hesitate. She picked up the phone and dialed 911. We're calling the cops. His voice changed instantly, screaming through the walls. He started banging on the door, and then he ran off. As his footsteps disappeared, we heard a clatter of something on the floor. We all kind of huddled together inside the common area, dispatch on the phone waiting for somebody to come get us. Police would arrive within minutes. Lights washed everything away, including our worries. Real officers then ran past our door, and they caught him across the street, trying to disappear into the parking lot. His costume ended up being his downfall. Later, we learned that noise that we'd heard was a hammer and a 10-inch screwdriver, items that he'd used in his previous murders. And I was in total shock when we were told
hammer?
that. I had almost opened up the door for him. They moved us out that night, and police took all of our statements. Our parents called, and Sharon's were on campus by the morning. Classes weren't stopped. Just another normal day after the fact. The man's name was released later along with a photo, and I didn't recognize him. None of us did. If you Google enough, I'm sure you can find
Your Halo guy was good.
him. I finished the semester and left town not long after. The dorms remained open. New students moved in and slept in those same beds that we were almost murdered in.
Damn.
Hey, did you?
No, that's crazy right there.
I've been crossing Texas pretty much all day, cutting through the stretch of backcountry highway where the land flattens out, doesn't really ever stand back up. No other towns, no exits, just roads, scrub, and butt-ugly country. You could see 10 or 15 miles straight ahead without a single bend. And then out of nowhere, my car started jerking. A hard pull to the right, steering going loose for a second, my dashboard lighting up. I eased off the gas and then coasted to the shoulder. By the time I stopped, the tire was completely gone, flapping rubber against the asphalt. I stepped out and felt that heat roll up off the road that was very unforgiving. The tire was shredded down to the rim, but worse than that, there was fluid coming out from beneath my car.
Fluid?
Anxiety quickly came to life inside of me. I popped the hood and immediately backed off. Steam hissed up at me in these short bursts. The smell was that of cooking oil. I let the air out and grabbed my phone. No signal, of course. I walked up the shoulder, then back the other way, holding up my phone just out of habit. I'm not even sure that works anymore. Still nothing. I looked down at the highway in both directions. Empty.
Well, yeah.
Nothing was looking good for me in the moment.
About 66.
I checked the trunk. No spare, which made me furious. Just a jack, a tire iron, and a bag of stuff that I did not need right now. The engine was ticking close by as it cooled off, and somewhere out in the brush, insects were clicking in these eerie bursts, cicadas or whatever the hell they're called. The sun was dropping, taking the heat with it, but leaving everything out in this washed out light. I sat on the guardrail and took stock. I had some water, a couple of protein bars, and a jacket, enough to get me through the night if I had to. And that's when it all really hit me. I wasn't going to get help anytime soon, and if somebody did come along, it would be the only car I'd probably see for hours. I looked down the road in front of me and tried to not trip out. I stayed with the car because there wasn't anywhere else really to go. I'm in the middle of nowhere.
So I got a question, y'all. So what would y'all do if y'all was stuck in y'all car? Like, let's just say your car just Unless you say your car just go out, what was y'all do? What was y'all do? Breaking the window? Sleep in it? What would you do? Honestly, don't know. You said what would I do? I might listen to Kennedy. I might just sleep in the car until help comes or something. Because if you ain't got no service, you can't really do nothing, honestly. Because remember, he ain't got no service, so he can't call AAA. Looking at the setting, bro, he look like he in the desert somewhere. First of all, why is you driving in the desert? You know what I'm saying? Ain't really nothing you can do, honestly.
The heat started to bleed out of the ground once the sun was dropping. The sky went dark, and every few minutes I waved my phone light down the highway, more out of habit than hope. I really, genuinely have never felt alone like that. Then in the distance I heard an engine, loud, rough, and struggling. No muffler. It was sounding like a chariot from heaven in my ears in the moment, though. Headlights then appeared far off, growing faster. I could see it in the fading sunlight. It was a black van, lifted, riding on thick off-road tires. The windshield was dark enough that I couldn't even see the driver at all. I stepped close to the shoulder and waved my light. The van slowed once it was actually within range of me. Salvation. I found a spot on the shoulder just behind my car. The engine stayed running, and after a beat, the driver's door opened and a guy hopped down. He seemed to be in his mid-20s, thin and wired. Sunglasses still on, even in the near dark. A bandana loose around his neck, cigarette burning in his hand. He looked around with a smile. Hell of a place to get stuck, huh? Yeah, I said. I blew a tire, no service. Just my luck. He chuckled, then turned into a slow circle, taking in the road that brushed the dark. No service, huh? He said again. That's real bad luck. This started to sound like a catchphrase at this point. Well, good thing I came along, he added. Let's see what you did. He crouched by the wheel, pulled out a flashlight that was unbearably bright. The beam snapped on and brought shadows to life all around us, and he whistled.
Whistle?
Whew.
Oh, I thought
You picked up a big knuckle of metal. He then angled the flashlight. A long, jagged strip of steel was wedged into the wheel well, bent and chewed up to hell. That'll stop any rig. I glanced over at him. You think that came off something? He shrugged at me. Out here, it could be anything. Maybe it bounced off a trailer that had just been tumbling down the highway. He helped me jack the car up. His van's headlights flooded the scene, washing everything else out past the shoulder. And the highway behind...
Hey, hold on real quick, y'all. Oh, there, bro. Tripping. Okay. Alright, my bad, y'all. How to find something.
This quickly vanished into complete blackness.
The Planet Fitness Black.
Nah, for real, I'm with you. I'm with you.
We have got to the...
I'm with you. I'm running too. For real, I'm running. You gotta catch me.
We played with the lugs for a while. He tugged on the ruined tire with a grunt. Something's catching in the back. The lugs are clear, so I don't know what it is. I can't see it. What do you need? I asked him. And he looked over at me for a second, and I mean really looked, then smiled. Oh, I'm gonna need you under there, he said. Just tell me what's hanging it up. I hesitated.
He definitely sketchy.
The jack creaked slightly under the weight of the car. It's just for a second, he said. I'll be right here. I didn't want to crawl under my car at night with a stranger standing over me, but I wanted to be off that road more than anything else. I just had to press myself against it for just a second. All right, I said. Let me use your flashlight. He lifted it slightly. This one? I'll angle it around. I'll hold it for you. I nodded back. So I got on my back and slid under the car.
Oh!
The ground around me was cold and smelled like burnt oil. I squinted, trying to make sense of all the shapes in the dark, and there's nothing out of place to my eye, at least. I still can't see much, I said to him. Can you angle that flashlight a little better? This one? Then the light exploded, white hot. It almost made me nauseous. My body locked up, every muscle clenched, my jaw snapped shut so hard I thought I broke my teeth. God knows how many thousands of lumens cold clocked me out of nowhere and sent me into this lizard brain mode. It was like he tasered my eyes. And somewhere above me, the metal shifted and the car rocked.
Oh!
Panic then shot through me. I twisted and rolled, holding myself sideways as the car tipped. And then it slammed down, right where I'd been. The jack snapping loose, the frame smashing into the asphalt. I watched my exposed frame leave a dent half an inch deep. I scrambled backward. What the fuck just happened? The guy shoved the car again, trying to roll it further. Was this his plan all along? When he saw me upright, his face went flat. Hey, he said quickly. Easy, that was an accident. But I ran. I bolted straight off the shoulder into the desert, crashing through the brush and loose rock. Hey, you okay? It was an accident. I dropped behind a low rise and just stayed there, crouched, watching through the brush. I knew I was safe out here in the dark, at least for the moment. He paced along the road with the flashlight, sweeping the beam back and forth, breathing hard, nervous. He kept talking, saying accident over and over again, like he's trying to convince some kind of lawyer in front of him. I'm not moving. I'm not going to let this asshole have any satisfaction whatsoever. After a while, he just stopped. I heard a door slam, then the van's engine revved up. Headlights swung across the shoulder once, looped, then disappeared. I stayed hidden long enough for that sound to fade, waiting for silence to swallow everything up in the world. I stayed in the brush for a couple of hours. I couldn't trust that he was really gone. When I walked back to the car, the road was now empty. No headlights, no engine noise, just my car that still was wounded on the shoulder. I got inside, locked the doors, and just waited. I didn't turn anything on. I just watched the road and listened, ready to run again if I needed to. I figured I'd be able to hear him just like before. But he didn't come back. Morning came and I was in disbelief. The desert was normal, and a patrol car pulled over a little after sunrise. The trooper took one look at my car and nodded. Let me guess, you had a real bad night. I told him what happened. Kept it simple. Flat tire, van, guy with the flashlight. The more I thought about it, the more I think he actually hit me with the stun gun after he flashed me. Then the car coming off the jack. When I described the van, he stopped riding and stepped away to make a call. You're not the first person to mention that vehicle to me. A tow truck came, and while they loaded up the car, the trooper walked around the shoulder, found the piece of metal from the wheel well, bagged it, and took a few photos. And that evening, he gave me a call. They picked the guy up outside a small town of where I broke down. Same van, same setup. Inside, they found equipment that matched everything that I ascribed to them, along with evidence tying him to several roadside deaths over the last few years.
Death?
Breakdown after breakdown that oddly resulted in these bizarre and mysterious deaths over the past few years that remained a mystery. The trooper didn't go into more details because the investigation was ongoing. I travel much differently now. Almost being killed in the middle of nowhere turned out to be far more nightmarish than I ever would have expected, and being left and crushed slowly to death by my own car to boot. To hell with all that. I stay strapped and keep a spare tire.
He did want a
I
body
don't
check.
take bullshit back
Class,
roads, and
he
if I
want a body
do,
class.
I've got a map and a line directly to civilization. Fool me once.
How did it?
When I was in 5th grade, not much happened where I lived at.
Alright, question y'all. Oh, hold on.
It was considered a
Hey, question y'all. Would y'all ever drive on the back roads? Yes or no? No. Yes. 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 Okay, I was just asking. I was just curious.
retirement community with the same houses, the same kids, the same routine. The river ran behind our neighborhood, sturdy and brown, and none of us really gave it a second thought. just like that stream we lived inside this boring place. But that all changed in the spring that year when somebody found a suitcase inside the water. At first, it was just normal small town talk. Kids whispering on the bus. Somebody said a fisherman hooked it and then dragged it in. Somebody else said a dog pulled it up on the bank. And by the time we got home that afternoon, my mom was on the phone. Her voice was tense and she was staring out the kitchen window. My dad didn't turn on the TV when he got home, which was unusual. He sat at the table, told us straight up that the police had pulled a body from the river. In a suitcase, he said, and it all clicked together. And that's the part that stuck with me more than anything else. A suitcase was something you took on vacation, something with wheels and a handle, not something you put a person inside. How the hell could somebody even fit in there? The details would come out at school. Somebody had chopped her up and fit her inside like a puzzle piece.
What?
Nobody had any clue who she was. Adults said that she was probably a prostitute, and that word floated around school for a few weeks. Half the kids not even knowing what it meant, just that it sounded bad. She wasn't identified, at least not that I ever heard, and nobody talked about any kind of suspect. The police taped off the river path and investigated for weeks on end. Parents didn't let their kids wander around anymore. My mom took to locking all the doors every second of the day, and my dad walked the yard with a flashlight after dark. For the first time, the idea settled in that somebody had done this and then just gone home, that they possibly lived somewhere nearby, maybe close enough to hear us laughing in the street or see lights on at night, to know our names and our schedules. And that's when the river started feeling like a part of the neighborhood and more like an omen. Nobody went down there anymore. And by the end of that summer, 2 more bodies had turned up. Both women.
2 more?
Both cut apart in the same way. One in another suitcase, the other stuffed into a duffel bag.
A duffel bag?
Police still weren't saying much, but they didn't have to. Everybody knew it was the same guy. They were keeping all of the more intimate details until they were closer to some kind of breakthrough. After all this, our parents may as well have been law enforcement too. They hovered over everything. No more riding bikes past sundown. No more cutting through the woods to save any kind of time. If you were outside, somebody's dad was watching from a porch or a garage, usually holding a golf club or a baseball bat. We adjusted because kids always do. There were 4 of us total, me, Aaron, Kyle, and Ben. And we spent most afternoons holed up at Aaron's house because his parents worked late. We set up camp in his bedroom on the 2nd floor, the one with a view of the river path and the tree line beyond.
Hey, y'all better not do nothing stupid, bro.
Aaron had binoculars. His uncle had used them for hunting. We took turns looking at them like snipers inside an eagle's nest. And we watched everything. People walking dogs, joggers, old couples shuffling past with grocery bags. Every stranger that went by would get studied by us. Every parked car was scrutinized.
He got a UAV?
We were half scared and half bored, which is a whirlwind combination at 11 years old. Could be anybody, Kyle kept saying. That's how they do it. Yeah, they always live close by, Ben added. Fuel on the fire.
The UAV is hilarious.
And we all believed that. The killer wasn't some shadow creature drifting in from the highway. He was a local. He bought gas. He waved at his neighbors. He knew where the river had enough power to move some kind of big, heavy suitcase like that.
Yo, what's good, cuzzo?
And when the news broke about a 4th discovery,
a 4th?
things tipped from fear into grand paranoia.
A 4th?
Police swarmed the river once again, farther downstream this time. Helicopters thudded overhead for quite some time. The rumor was another body had come floating through. But this time it wasn't a body, just blood, this unbelievable amount of it, and nobody knew what to make of it. Now the river was closed off completely, and parents warned us time and time again to not go anywhere near it under any circumstances, which meant obviously that we started talking about going. As mentioned, kids are dumb as hell.
Oh my goodness, bro. So you telling me... I ain't even gonna say nothing, bro. Y'all heard what they just said?
Oh, and especially when something appears scary. We planned it like complete idiots. Midnight, flashlights with fresh batteries stick together, no screaming unless somebody was actually being attacked. Aaron even brought this cheap disposable camera, like we might make some kind of major breakthrough or something. We met at the edge of a taped-off trail, hearts pounding, nervous as hell, trying to come off as brave and pull together. Crawling under the tape felt crazy, as if we just crossed into some kind of afterlife. The woods around the river were swallowing everything up, and our flashlights carved out these narrow tunnels, catching branches, rocks, but nothing alive. Nobody said a word.
Hey, I got one question, y'all, before we finish this. What would y'all do if y'all found out y'all kid went in the crime scene, even though you told them not to go nowhere, and four people didn't perish, and your kid still go do a crime scene in the forest? What was y'all reaction be? You be mad? Grinding for life? Yeah, I'll be disappointed. Yeah, I'll be more disappointed, bro. I'll be more disappointed than anything. Like, I understand y'all saying furious, grounded, mad. I'll be disappointed, bro. I'll be more disappointed. I'm not gonna lie to y'all, bro.
And every snap of a twig made each one of us flinch. And at first, we found nothing. No tools, no stains, no signs of anybody ever camping or dumping anything. Just dirt, bugs, and the steady rush of water, getting louder and louder as we got closer. When we finally reached the riverbank, nobody still was saying anything for quite some time. We just kind of stood there, listening, expecting what? I don't know, a scream, a splash, anything to confirm the knots in our bellies. But nothing presented itself.
Yeah, I remember Gold Garden.
Finally pointed downstream.
I used to get copyright. I like playing Gold Garden.
It was old, concrete, barely wide enough for two cars to pass by on. We weren't supposed to be anywhere near it at night, and the idea of getting closer made my stomach do a backflip, but nobody wanted to say no. Nobody wanted to be the scaredy cat. Halfway there, we saw lights. There was this RV sat upon the bridge, engine running, headlights on, brake lights glowing red, but it wasn't moving. The passenger door hung open, and somebody inside shifted, metal clinking slowly. None of us spoke. We crouched instinctively. Being seen could mean death. "The hell's he doing?" Ben whispered, and an answer came a second.
Mind you, y'all, this is 110,000% unavoidable. I just how to say it. This is unavoidable. The situation they in, this is unavoidable.
And later, something heavy tipped over the railing. It teetered, caught for a second, then slid and plummeted into the water with a deep, wide splash. It was a suitcase. I knew it before my brain caught up. The blocky shape, the way it fell as one unit. The man leaning over the railing looked down at his handiwork. His face was in shadow, but I could see his hand moving, rubbing at the front of his jeans. My legs locked. I couldn't breathe. He climbed back into the driver's seat, shut the door, released the brake, and the RV rolled forward, tires purring softly, disappearing off into the woods. Nobody moved until that sound was completely gone. And then we ran until we hit the edge of the neighborhood. Aaron starts yelling, then screaming, and somebody else was in tears behind me. Porch lights came on, a man stepped out in socks and asked what the hell was wrong with us. We tried to explain to him the RV, the bridge, the suitcase, and that word did it. Parents came out after that, and my dad told my mom to call the police. I think everybody was making that call. My dad took off down the street toward the river with two other parents behind him, half dressed and pissed off. Squad cars arrived just a few minutes later, red and blue lights painting everything in sight. The police separated us and took statements, and we told the same story over and over again. An old RV, yellow headlights, suitcase over the railing. The cop writing things down did not interrupt, just let our story flow. They found the suitcase within 15 minutes because it hadn't gone far. The river by the bridge was slow moving, filled with branches and deadfall. One of the officers pulled the zipper back, just enough to peek inside, then closed it again, and everybody knew what was in there. Nobody let us near it. The search started immediately. They put out a description for the RV, older model, light colored, possibly rusted out. Roadblocks went up on the highway. Patrols ran all night long, and by morning, there was nothing. No RV, no suspects, no answers. The school was closed the next day too. The river was essentially condemned to the public. Nobody complained about being bored. I never left my window, my dad's binoculars glued to my face now. It felt dumb to me to stop looking for him. Shit, we were the only ones to actually see him, to have some semblance of an idea of what we were looking for. And I watched every street as much as I possibly could. And then I saw an old RV rolling through a few streets over, just kind of drifting. It never stopped cruising, just passed through, almost as if it were lost. The windows were too dark to see an actual driver. I yelled for my parents, but by the time they came upstairs, it was of course gone. They called 911 anyway. The police came back, took another report, and asked if I was sure. Yeah, I'm sure. They took my statement and resumed the hunt. No one was ever arrested, at least to my knowledge. The killings stopped, at least in our area, and eventually the river opened back up. Kids started fishing out there again. Life went on. But there for a year or two, we were all convinced he'd come back, slit our throats in our sleep, for seeing what he'd done.
Alright, y'all.
Hey drivers, don't let high interest.
I just know I ain't heard it. Alright, y'all. So I got one called Sleepover Horror Stories, and I got 2 Night Shift. Which one would y'all rather watch? Sleepover or Night Shift? Night Shift, Sleepover, Sleep. Dang, brother, you always get. I'm sorry, brother. Dang, you always
Back
be you, bro.
many years for this, but I grew up in Northern California in quite a poor rural area. Some of my best friends from elementary and middle school lived like 10 to 15 miles away, so on weekends, instead of just going over to visit for the day, we'd have sleepovers to save our parents driving these crazy round trips. So I had this one friend called Star, whose parents were like old school hippies. Their house always smelled of patchouli. They were vegan before
Sleepover Horror Stories I ain't about to tell you the title.
vegan was even really a thing, and aside from a few unusual recreational activities, they were basically just as good as being parents as any other couple. They were sweet, loving, and attentive, and I always had a ball whenever I went to sleepovers at their place. Mainly because they...
Hey, before we start this, I got a question, y'all. Would y'all let y'all kids do a sleepover? Yes or no? No. H no. Yes. Maybe. F no. Probably. Okay. I was just curious.
They'd let us stay outdoors in a tent at night, which was just such a huge adventure for a little group of preteen tomboys. Anyways, this one night we're staying in a tent in the backyard, but it was a backyard that extended to one side of the house. Where we're camped is in the view of the TV room window, so Star's mom and dad could keep an eye on us, but it also meant we could see the driveway from the flap of our tent. It was summertime, so it was still incredibly warm at night, so we ended up leaving the tent flat unzipped to let some cool air in. It obviously wasn't open all the way, 'cause bugs, but we can still see outside the tent. Then, in the middle of the night, Star shakes me awake and whispers, "There's someone in the driveway." I'm thinking it might have been her big brother, who was a few years older
Look how many people it is, bro.
than us and was
That's
attending
8 people,
college.
bro.
But when I suggested that, she said, "No, it's a bunch of people, look." I start getting real anxious hearing that, so I quietly creep up to the tent flap to peek out.
This experience.
Bro, 8 people is insane, bro.
That's when I saw that Star was exactly right. In the little bit of moonlight that we had, I literally lost count of the number of people I saw creeping up her driveway. It was seriously one of the scariest moments of my life, mainly because there was absolutely nothing to do but keep as quiet as possible. We couldn't call the cops. This was way before cell phones. We couldn't warn Star's parents without...
What do you mean way before cell phone? But when this story took place? And why is there more people? It was just 8 people. Hold on, y'all. Let's see. 1, 2, 3. 3, 6, 9, 12. But it's 16 people, bro.
Revealing our presence, we were just powerless, forced to watch people who obviously didn't have good intentions slowly approaching Star's house. I think in the end, Star just broke, and in a move you could either call real brave or real stupid, she just ran out of the tent shouting, "Get away from my house," and then, "Mom, Dad, call the cops." As soon as she starts screaming, a bunch of flashlights burst into life, obviously held by the guys sneaking up the driveway. And oh my god, there were so many of them. At first glance in the darkness, it looked no more than about 5 or 6 people, but when they all turned their flashlights on, it was clear the number was more like 15 or 20. I just hear, "Sheriff's Department, show me your hands." And that was incredibly confusing because we were all about calling the cops to get help, but like, the cops were already here? Anyway, Star does as she's told, while me and our friends start climbing out of the tent with our hands in the air. That's when the person approaching us started saying, "Jesus, they're just kids, man." And with them being closer, I could see that they really were cops, with caps and badges and all patches on their arms, all that stuff. Then I hear, "Go, go, go, get in there." And the cops start bashing the front door to the house in while other cops fanned around the backyard and headed towards one of the barns.
What? They get
We
invaded?
were scared, obviously,
They get invaded?
but we're so focused on just staying down and watching that we're not really freaking out too bad. But when the cops start dragging Star's mom and dad out of the house and arresting them, she had to be restrained by the cop that was guarding us. After that, the cops drove me and our friend back to our respective homes. Then, I don't know what they did with Star. I think they took her to her grandma's or her aunt's or whatever. Then a few days later, we find out that Star's mom and dad had been growing something they shouldn't have in one of their barns.
Oh.
I get that it was illegal and stuff, but
They would.
the aftermath was just so sad. Star had to go live with her relatives because her parents were sent off to prison for a few years. It was messed up. And I get that the cops were just doing their job and stuff, but it was definitely one of the scariest times of my life. Seeing all those figures in black, just creeping towards my friend's house. So, back when I was a kid, me and my best bud were having a sleepover. His mom and dad had gotten a divorce a couple months prior, so to counter all the stress of it, he pretty much got whatever he wanted.
Okay.
Not like his mom was spoiling him or anything.
Boy, he got that bowl cut. Let me chill, y'all.
She was just being super nice to make sure he wasn't too bummed about his dad leaving. Did it work? Yes and no. Getting to have his friends sleep over, getting an Xbox, a cell phone, and getting much more personal freedom was all well and good, but every so often you could tell the whole thing was getting to him. The good thing was, I got to spend a whole bunch more time with him to give him the support we needed,
Ain't no beanie, boy.
which
That's a bowl cut.
coincidentally meant that I was there for one of the worst moments of his childhood.
Wait,
Actually,
let's see. Yeah, nah. That's a bowl cut right there. That ain't no beanie. A beanie. That ain't no beanie. Nah, y'all think this a beanie? Y'all think this a beanie? Boy, that ain't no beanie, boy. That ain't no beanie. Nah, that ain't no beanie, yo. I know how a beanie look. That ain't no beanie. Yeah, that's a beanie haircut. That ain't no beanie.
Make that both our childhoods. So, we're having a sleepover, and his mom is having a friend over. We're upstairs, they're downstairs. At one point, I wanted a glass of water, so I head downstairs, but you had to walk through the TV room to get to the kitchen, and when I do, I see my buddy's mom's friend is a dude, and they're getting kind of close.
He got
you know
that.
what
He
I'm
got
saying?
that well cut.
They jump off each other when I walk into the room. I walk through like, don't mind me, and it's
Oh, my
incredibly
goodness,
awkward as I walk
bruh.
back through with my glass of water.
Y'all are hilarious,
Then,
bro.
I make the mistake of mentioning it to my buddy. He's clearly not happy with the fact that it's a dude.
Oh, shit.
Like, we're ninth graders at this point, so we're pretty savvy to, you know. Anyway, my buddy isn't happy, but he just does his usual thing of internalizing it before distracting himself. Not the best coping mechanism in hindsight, but it is what it is. Then, remember that cell phone I mentioned?
Yeah, talk to me.
Well, his mom bought it for him so he could keep in touch with his dad, which he then does.
It was
Guess
terrible.
what's the first thing he tells him? Yep, that there's a strange dude over at his house.
Whoa.
Oh, you right about that? I don't know what that ending was.
I totally blame myself in the moment. It sucked so hard, and when my buddy hung up, turned to me with a smug grin and said, "Dad's on his way over." I just knew something bad was going to happen. I kind of wanted to leave, but at the same time,
Ew,
my whole
snitch is
reason
crazy.
for being at that time was being a good friend to Ryan.
Hey, well, snitch is crazy.
I had a really healthy family life at home. Like, my mom and dad were a loving, dedicated couple, right up until the day my dad passed.
Rest in peace,
And
Pops,
I'd
bro.
like to think they raised good kids. But Ryan, his parents were total morons. And good God, did that make me feel guilty. So, I stuck around. I knew something horrible was going to happen, but I had zero freaking clue to how bad it would really be.
What happened?
My buddy's bedroom window overlooked his driveway, so when his dad finally did show up,
What,
we
a
could
gun?
see and hear almost everything that went on down there.
What, a gun?
His dad, and I'm not embellishing here, hurdles up the driveway at like 40 miles an hour,
Nah, I ain't heard about a new Halo. I got to play that.
screeches to a stop,
When it come up.
and then doesn't even shut his door when he climbed out of his car. Ryan is watching him, looking at him like his dad is a knight in shining armor for a few seconds, right up until he says, "Oh crap, I think my dad has a gun." Hearing that final word sent this razor-sharp icicle running right through my guts. I knew there'd probably be shouting and fighting, but shooting? Then all we hear through an open window is, "Where is he?" It was Ryan's dad. He'd banged on the door until his mom answered, and then demanded to know where her guy friend was. Ryan's mom's all like, "I don't know what you're talking about." But then Ryan's dad goes from 0 to 100 in a second flat. "Don't lie to me, Linda, where is he?" he says. There's this very real, palpable
Yeah,
pause,
Halo
and
definitely top 5.
me and Ryan are just on this very tense, nervous feeling. Then his mom says, "Who told you?" Again, shiver of ice through my stomach, because I'm basically the one who told, and in that moment, I told myself that whatever was about to happen was completely my fault. "See?" Ryan's dad exploded at the admission. "You're a freaking liar, Linda. Now get out of my way." We could hear Ryan's mom screaming for a second. Then we heard another voice, only this one is definitely inside the house. The guy friend. "Get off!" he screamed. You heard the guy start to shout something at Ryan's dad. Then he just went totally silent, and all you could hear were feet beating against the floorboards downstairs. All before, bam, bam, bam. 3 distinct gunshots that echoed around the house.
Oh!
Me and Ryan are just bawling at this point, because we could still hear his mom screaming, and we had no idea if she'd been shot, if the boyfriend was dead, if the boyfriend had a gun and fired at Ryan's dad. The whole situation was traumatic enough, but the not knowing, man, that was just the worst. I had to grab Ryan's cell phone off of him to call 911. He just totally shut down from the stress. He'd had a rough enough few months while the whole divorce thing went on, but now he had to deal with potentially a dead mom or dad. I don't blame him, honestly. It was bad enough for me, and it wasn't even any of my parents. The 3 shots were all heard, and before the cops showed up, the only sounds we could hear were Ryan's mom crying downstairs, We should have gone to check on her. I know we should have, but the dispatcher told us both to stay put because we didn't know if there was still an active shooter or whatever, so we did as we were told. Thankfully, everyone turned out to be okay and no one was even shot.
Okay.
Ryan's dad had aimed the gun at his mom's friend as soon as he'd laid eyes on him, but the guy was quick and just bolted out the back of the house as Ryan's dad pursued. He fired 3 shots, but it was basically just to scare the guy away at that point. And I heard none of the bullets even went near him. But still, it was terrifying, and Ryan's dad ended up going back to prison.
Back to prison?
For a long while because of it. I remember going to my first ever sleepover in 4th grade. The nighttime was great. We played Nintendo, made a fort out of the couch cushions in his TV room, everything a kid could dream of. We went to bed way later than usual, told spooky stories while we shined flashlights at the ceiling. It was every part the Norman Rockwell cliché. Right up until the next morning. We wake up bright and early. He heads out to the bathroom, but when he does,
I built my bag collection with that.
his mom whispering something to him in the hallway outside his bedroom. Then, he comes back in and really somberly says, "My mom says you gotta go home." Naturally, I ask why, but he shrugs and tells me my mom is already on the way to give me a ride. As you can guess, we were real sad about it, but we'd had a whole bunch of fun the night before, and even kids know that the good times gotta come to an end sometime. Anyway, my mom shows up. I say bye to my friend Mikey and his mom, but I notice that his dad isn't around. He'd been there the night before, and he was a really cool guy, so I asked them to tell him I said bye and thank you so he didn't think I was rude or anything. Mikey said sure, but his mom just kind of looked off into the distance and stayed silent. I thought that was kind of weird, but it was really early in the morning, so I didn't think much of it. But I definitely noticed how the really fun, warm atmosphere of the night before had been replaced by something much colder.
Talk to me.
Then, when I got into my mom's car, she too was acting like something terrible had happened. I might have been just 9, but I wasn't dumb, so I remember asking her what was going on, that I knew something weird had happened and I'd rather just know. So, she tells me. She tells me that while me and my buddy were sleeping peacefully in our pillow fort, his dad had an aneurysm in the next room and was dead before anyone had woken up. It was bad. I know that seems like an understatement, but it was worse than I could have imagined.
Oh my lord.
His mom pretty much fell apart, and she and my friend left town shortly afterward to go live with relatives. It's something that haunted me for a long time, knowing I was so close to a death like that, as well as seeing how a sudden death can just wreck someone's mental and physical health.
Dang.
Like the last time I saw his mom, she'd lost a whole bunch of weight, a complete shadow of her former self. My buddy looked pretty bad too, but he was definitely taking it much better than she was. That was the last time I saw either of them, when they came over to break the news that they were moving away. It sucked, and we promised to stay in touch, but I guess things don't always turn out the way you want them to.
Yeah, rest in peace, bad, bro.
Way back when I first started middle school, it was in a different part of New Jersey, so I didn't really know anyone. I was terrified I wouldn't be able to make any new friends, so imagine my relief when I met Jenny.
Yeah,
Jenny isn't her real name, and I'm not going to use any real names in this for reasons that will become obvious. So me and Jenny became fast friends, so we decided to have ourselves a little sleepover at her mom's place. Our parents talked it over, and we arranged for me to go home with her on a Friday after school. Then my mom would come get me on the Saturday morning. The Friday arrives, I catch the bus back to Jenny's place with her, and this marks the first time I ever met Jenny's mom. She seemed weird, to say the least. Jenny's dad wasn't in the picture anymore, and I don't think her mom took it very well. because she was the kind of woman who was into crystals and Reiki and all that other spiritual stuff. Maybe she was into that stuff before he left her. The point is, she was that kind of witchy woman, I guess you could say. The evening started off with Jenny's mom being quirky but nice. But at a certain point, she started opening bottles of wine and drinking them super fast. Like, even at 13, I'd recognized that there was something not right about the way she drank. But given I was spending most of my time in Jenny's room, I didn't think it'd really matter. Wrong. Because at one point, Jenny's mom walks into her bedroom where we're hanging out and half collapses down onto the bed with a, "What you girls doing?" I don't know if other people can relate to this, but I always used to find drunk adults to be really, really creepy. Seeing how something as simple as a drink could change them so much, and not even for the better. Ugh. It made my skin crawl. But a scary story about, "Oh, poor me, I don't like drunk people," that's not what you guys are here for. So I'm sure you'll be pleased to hear that that's not the scary part. The scary part was when Jenny's mom started channeling spirits.
Oh, it's on.
It was legitimately one of the creepiest freaking things I'd ever seen. Seeing this grown woman trying to change her facial features and her voice to make out what the dead were talking through her. I knew it wasn't real. I was 13, not dumb, but seeing her, believe it was happening, it was honestly one of the most disturbing things I'd ever seen. She'd pretend to be some long-dead murderer and talk about the murders they committed. Then she'd pretend to be a child cancer patient talking about how scary it was to die so young. Just sick stuff like that.
Hey, did you...
Hey, Sydney Swing. Sydney Swing.
We had to listen to her drone on for like an hour or so, telling us all kinds of things that 13-year-old girls should definitely not be hearing. Eventually, she tired herself out and passed out on Jenny's bed. She just excused her mom and we continued the sleepover in the TV room. I was mortified for her, but to Jenny, this was the most normal thing in the world.
Counter-Strike? I never heard of Counter-Strike.
About 4 or 5 months later, just before summer break, Jenny's mom suffered a complete nervous breakdown and tried to stab her with a bread knife. It was a whole thing in our town, and I don't think I'd ever seen Jenny again. Thankfully, she did end up getting adopted by a distant cousin who lived a few towns over, and so we still got to hang out every once in a while. But her mom was admitted to a psychiatric hospital, and I know that had a really negative effect on her. Me and Jenny lost touch after high school, but if she's out there and she just so happens to be reading this, I hope you're okay. I miss you, and I hope you and your mom are doing just fine now. Back when I was a kid, I had this friend in elementary school. We were super close, sat next to each other in class, hung out every recess and lunch. So, at one point, we planned a little sleepover. My parents' place was kind of small at the time, but she lived in this big old house with her grandparents. So it was arranged we'd have our sleepover there instead. I never found out why she lived with them or where her parents were, but I distinctly remember my mom and dad telling me not to ask her questions about them, for obvious reasons in hindsight. The only thing was, my friend seemed really set on having the sleepover at my place. I mean, to the point where, when we had no choice but to have it at her grandparents' place, she seemed to not want to have a sleepover anymore. I had to convince her to have it at her place just because I was so excited about the idea of having the sleepover in general. Anyways, it comes to the night of the sleepover, I go over to her grandparents' place and it's every bit as fun as I imagined. We watched movies up in her room, had pizza delivered, ate ice cream right out of the tub, and her grandparents seemed really sweet and nice. Then I think it was around 9 p.m. Her grandpa knocks on the door, pokes his head in and tells us that he and my friend's grandma are headed to bed, so we're to keep the noise down. We're like, okay, good night. He leaves, and we carry on with our night. A little while after, I get up and head over to the door, telling my friend I needed to use the bathroom. She jumps up, throws herself between me and the door and is like, "You can't go out there. You'll wake up Grandpa." I tell her not to worry and that I'd creep down the hall on tippy toes so as not to wake him, but my friend still refuses to let me leave the room. I think she's actually playing around for a second. I'm like, "Quit it," and try to get past her, but she actually shoves me back away from the door with this angry look on her face.
Oh, no, she ain't playing.
I didn't want to start a fight with her after all. The whole objective was to keep as quiet as possible, but still I needed to use the bathroom. So I asked her where I'm going to go, and get this. She reaches under her bed and pulls out one of the plastic stationery trays. You know, like the in-box and out-box kind you put paper in? Yeah, that kind. She points at this paper tray and is just like, "Go in this." Again, I think she might be playing a weird and cruel sort of trick on me, but she's deadly serious. She actually wanted me to pee in that stationery tray. So I did. It was super gross, but I did it, and instantly, the mood is just destroyed. I had nothing to clean myself up with. I'm pretty sure I peed a little on my nightgown. It was just all kinds of disgusting.
Ew.
But still, my friend won't let me go to use the bathroom to wash up. The weirdest thing was, she acted like it was normal. She never did anything like that at my house, and she definitely didn't seem like that kind of kid, like she wasn't known as the stinky kid in school or whatever. The whole thing just kind of blew my mind, and although I didn't let it affect our relationship or friendship or anything, I definitely didn't like to stay over at her house again. We stayed close for a long time after, but ended up going to different high schools because she moved in with her aunt over in St. Paul. We kept in touch using MySpace, back when that was still a thing, but I never got to the bottom of her weird nocturnal bathroom habits, not until well after her grandpa passed away. When he died, she seemed to take it really bad. When I called her, she broke down crying so bad that she had to hang up, and she wouldn't return any of my texts, no matter how much I begged her to get in touch.
I just created simple product.
And me and my mom looked up her aunt's home phone number and called ahead before we drove over. The aunt seemed more than happy to talk to us, but with the caveat that she had something very, very serious to tell us. My friend's grandpa had been doing stuff to her.
What?
My friend's grandpa had been doing stuff to her.
Oh my god, I don't know what I was saying. Y'all heard y'all heard that? Y'all heard that? Her friend grandpa was doing stuff to her, bro. I'm with y'all, bro. I'm with y'all, bro. We got to see. We got to see. We got to see.
Whenever her grandma was asleep, she got up to use the bathroom or whatever. Her grandpa would hear her come out of his room and... God, I can't even bring myself to say it. Turns out he'd done the exact same thing to her mom too, and that's like half the reason she wasn't in the picture anymore. One of the other reasons was the drug use, which is why no matter how much she insisted on custody not being given to the grandparents, a judge ignored her and did it anyway. I think they were just so terrified of him that they just couldn't talk about it, ever, and it was only after he died that it all came spilling out in various forms. The aunt that she was living with was her mom's cousin, so obviously wasn't around for what was happening when they were kids. It was absolutely horrifying hearing about it just as her friend, so I can only imagine how terrible the aunt felt, knowing she was so close to the abuse but just not being able to see it. And then it all made sense to me. Why she didn't want me walking down the hall at night. Why she'd taken to peeing in a stationery tray that she kept hidden under her bed. She wasn't being mean or weird when she made me do it. She was protecting me. No wonder she didn't want me to have this sleepover in her place, and I'm really not trying to make this whole thing about me when I say this, but I feel horribly guilty for not saying anything to my parents at the time. I didn't want to embarrass her. She was my friend, my best friend. But that's just the thing about being a kid, isn't it? That naivety. You do dumb stuff even if you don't mean to. And that's what my therapist tells me anyway, and I try to believe it. I really do. But part of me will forever remain convinced that somehow, too.
That's what I'm saying, bro. You like 6 years old, bro.
Before starting the story, I wanted to share some context. I'm a 26-year-old female who unfortunately gets a lot of unwanted attention. I'm married, and at the time of the story, my husband's brother had lived with us. We live in newly built townhomes, and everyone in the unit had actually moved in within the same week of each other. In the townhome next to us lived a mom and her late 20, early 30-year-old son, and next to them lives another young married couple. We'll call her I and him P. We became friends with them because we're in the same age group. Now, this happened a little over a year ago, and we noticed that the mom and son had a guest staying with them. We didn't think much of it. Well, one morning I was walking my dog, and as soon as I walked out the door, I began to smell cigarettes. But I didn't really think too much of it because my
Smell what?
I began to smell cigarettes. But I didn't really think too much of it because my brother-in-law smokes. Right in front of our townhome is a long patch of land that hasn't been built on yet, and I always walk my dog around there every morning. Once I reached it, I had heard someone behind me then say,
"You look really lovely today."
I looked back, and I saw that it was the guy that had been staying with my neighbor. I was kinda confused because I had just rolled out of my bed still in my PJs. He then said good morning, and I said good morning back. He then asked if I smoked, and I said no. I was already getting really creeped out by this guy, so I just kept walking, and by the time I walked back home, he was already gone. When I got inside and told my husband, he thought it was odd. We don't really know anything about this guy or who he is, so my husband just told me to be careful when I walk our dog. The very next morning when I went to walk our dog, I looked out to see if the creepy neighbor was out. I didn't see him, so I went on a walk. About a minute later, I had felt someone behind me, and as I looked around, lo and behold, it was him. I walked a little faster to put some distance between us, and that's when our dog needed to do her business. That's when I took her to the side so that my dog could poop. That's when the neighbor got closer to us, and the dog started barking and wouldn't stop. So I started a fast walk to a different spot in the neighborhood so that she could finish. He followed me there, and he got close yet again. It made me and the dog really uncomfortable, so I just decided to leave and go back home. Keep in mind, our dog still hasn't had a chance to do her business yet. Anyways, my husband was already at work, but I still wanted to call him to let him know what happened. He said to feed her and get ready for work, and maybe by the time I finished, the creepy neighbor would finally be back inside. So I did so, and when I decided to walk the dog again, I opened my front door, and to my surprise, he was in the middle of the road throwing punches. I closed my door immediately and decided to take her to my parents' house before going to work, and that I would just pick her up after I got off. During the rest of this week, I would only walk her whenever my husband was home because I just felt uncomfortable, but I wasn't really sure if it was just me being paranoid. He didn't follow me again, but every time I walked, he would go outside to smoke and just watch me. I did tell my family about this though, just so they would be aware. It was now the Tuesday right before Thanksgiving, and my mom and sister had decided to come over to help decorate the outside of my home for Christmas. I went inside to look for something, and one of my sisters and my mom had stayed outside. The creepy neighbor had came out and looked at me and then said,
"Oh, there's two of you."
My sister and mom came back inside immediately because they felt uncomfortable, now knowing that he had followed me before. They stayed a little bit longer, but they had to leave because it was getting late. About 30 minutes.
When I got ready.
later, my brother-in-law comes home and I asked if he knew who the guy was staying with the neighbor. He asked me why and what was wrong, and I told him what had been happening. He then bolted out the front door, not saying where or what he was going to do. Since it was now midnight, my husband and I went to bed. I had to work all day the next day, so I didn't get a chance to talk to my brother-in-law and ask what happened. It's 2 days later and in the morning, which is now Thanksgiving Day, so I was walking my dog out like I normally do. On my way back, I see the mom who lives next door purposely checking her mail right at the same time I was walking outside. She then stops me and she asks me what the issue was that I was having with her son. So it's her son. And that's when I realized that he was probably there to stay and not just visiting. I then told her that he had been following me around in the neighborhood and that it made me really uncomfortable. She then went on to tell me that I had nothing to worry about and that he's really harmless, that he has some personal issues that he deals with by walking.
Sit sleep over horror stories. So this story with her class is basically her son is obsessed with another dude wife and he following her and all that goofy stuff. Man, that's weird. my bad.
But that he really means no harm. Not believing a word that she said, I replied back with, "Okay, thanks," then went back inside. When my brother-in-law came downstairs, I asked if he had talked to the mom. That's when he then told me what happened. He said that he banged on her door until she finally answered, and he told her to keep her son in check, and that if he ever hears that his sister-in-law has another encounter with him, they were going to have a serious problem. My brother-in-law is a pretty intimidating guy, and he has a really short temper, so he made it very clear not to screw around with me or my husband. Since he was so pissed off, he went over to INP's house to cool off. Since he's been living with us, he became pretty good friends with P, and he also told them what happened. About a week later, me and I went to lunch, and what she told me next made my heart just drop. Apparently the creepy neighbor guy is bipolar as well as schizophrenic. She told me that all the things the creepy neighbor was doing to me, he was doing to other women as well. One woman actually tried to pepper spray him, and he actually blocked it and grabbed the pepper spray right out of her hands, which happened to be attached to her keys, and in the attempt of getting the keys from her, he had actually punched the woman in her face. The woman called the police and got a restraining order on him, so he couldn't live in the apartment complex anymore. His mom put him in a hotel while she figured out his living situation, and he was creeping out the other guests over there as well. The manager tried to kick him out, but the creepy neighbor started talking a lot of nonsense and threatened to shoot up the place.
Whoa.
The manager had to get the police involved just to get him out of there. They had finally kicked him out, so he went to live with his aunt until his mom's lease was up and she was able to move. So that's why he lives with his mom again. The mom actually has the audacity to say that her son is harmless when he's even hit her. She's afraid of her own son. The mom told I this way before he ever moved back in with her. I haven't had an issue with him since my brother-in-law went over there. Luckily I work enough to be out of the house, but I still try to avoid being home alone. It's absolutely horrible not feeling safe in your own home. I'm really looking forward to the day we move.
Alright, which one of these y'all rather watch? Valentine's or Driving that Night? I guess one of these two that just pop up. You know what I'm saying? Which one y'all rather watch? Valentine's or Valentine's Day 1 and 3. I'm sorry, for driving Valentine 1.
The worst time to have someone break up with you. Besides the occasional story of a runaway bride you read on Craigslist.
Yeah, I not do a poll. I'm gonna do it next time.
I'm pretty sure that Valentine's is number 1 on the list. I never would have suspected that my boyfriend Caleb would actually dump me last year. Even though we had been going through some rough patches, I thought we had made it through. He hadn't given me any indication that things were going to take a turn for the worst. In fact, the week before Valentine's, he had already booked us a reservation at Red Lobster, gone out of his way to ask off for work, and told me he planned to really go all out to treat me. Then, early V-Day morning, I got a text that changed my whole world. He decided to dump me.
Oh, wow.
Who does that? Is this like high school? I called him immediately to demand a response. It's just too much for me, Molly. I'm sorry. I should have told you sooner, he responded. He told me a bunch of reasons why he had this sudden revelation, but a lot of it sounded like bull. I knew Caleb. He always rambled like this when he was trying to hide the truth, and the more he talked, the angrier I became with him. Just tell me you didn't cheat, please. I swear if you did, I'm gonna hurt myself.
Whoa,
I said between bitter
myself?
tears. I was experiencing an emotional roller coaster, but it was about to get worse from here. He promised that he hadn't cheated and insisted that I could still keep any gifts that he had sent, including the planned reservation. I know this is all very last minute, but I need space. I need to know where I'm going and what I'm doing with my life, Caleb told me. He promised that he would keep in touch, but I could already tell in his voice that it was over. I was devastated. Honestly, I can't remember the first thing I did. Maybe I smashed something expensive or went to the bathroom and vomited. I was still reeling, and it felt like I couldn't make sense of the world around me. To be honest, I thought about self-harm. And to anyone out there who is ever going through this, please listen to me and realize no man is worth that. I'm so thankful I have had that epiphany, and I hope others do too. And come to think of it, this harrowing experience might have actually been my wake-up call, as crazy as that sounds. But anyway, there I was, trying to find the strength to stand when one of my closest friends, Felicia, texted me and asked if she could come over. I needed a lifeline to cling to after this whirlwind of a morning, so I told her to come immediately. When she got there, I think I fell into her arms and burst into tears. She was shocked but listened as I told her about what Caleb had done to me. And then she had this brilliant idea for us to go get drunk off of our butts, and it sounded exactly the kind of distraction I needed. Felicia has always been a good friend, and I knew that if I went with her, I was going to have a good time. I changed my clothes, put on makeup, and blocked Caleb from my phone. All of it felt very empowering. We went down to the lobby and called for a taxi to take us downtown, ready to live it up. When the taxi got there, I remember thinking that this day was turning out to be good after all. Felicia and I talked as the driver took us to what we thought was our destination. Felicia was extremely vocal about her disgust with Caleb and apparently all men. They always do this. Use us like playthings and get rid of us to move on to something newer and shinier, she said. I think I recall that the driver seemed tense whenever she talked like this, like it bothered him. I was so busy laughing or crying that I didn't pay it as much attention as I should have, and I also realized my memory is probably playing tricks with me because of how jarring the next thing that happened was. We were merging off of a highway to a street when Felicia made some joke about Caleb's prowess in bed when the driver abruptly sped up and we zoomed through a light. I remember being rattled and Felicia shouted to him to slow down. Instead, he just kept going, looking angry as a feral animal. "What's your problem, man?" she finally asked when he slammed on the brakes. I suddenly realized I didn't recognize the part of the city he had taken us to.
We have got to the point.
Whoa. You said next Roblox on you? I'm playing Roblox tomorrow.
We lost? Was something else going on? I can't tell you how
I thought watching a little Lee video. I'm going to sleep.
much I wanted this to be a normal thing. Then he turned around and pointed a gun in our face. "Shut up and give me your phones," he ordered. Felicia and I immediately complied. He grabbed our entire purses after he took our cell phones and then started to drive again. Felicia and I were frantically trying not to be scared for our lives, but this guy was wasting no time getting us out of town. At some point, we crossed a bridge and he tossed our purses and phones into the river below. Then he kept driving to the country. There were several times in the drive that I thought about jumping from the car. I didn't know how to tell Felicia what I was thinking, though. We were both scared stiff by this sudden and surprising psycho driver that we didn't dare make a move. I think it was probably 5 by the time the taxi finally stopped, and we had arrived at what looked like a rental cabin. "Stay here," the driver ordered as he got out and went to his trunk. I had literally no idea where we might be, but I used those few precious seconds to tell Felicia that we should make a run for it. "If we work together, we can overpower him," I told her. And when he opened the door to his cab, I kicked him straight in the gut and shouted for Felicia to help me. She was right behind me, and we tussled with this guy for what was probably only 2 minutes. Sometime during the scuffle, he dropped his gun, and Felicia ran to grab it. As soon as she had it, she pointed it at the driver and demanded that he let me go. The way this dude was looking,
Oh my god,
the
AK?
thought he
I
might
ain't even
try
realized
something
that. I
even
like
crazier. But surprisingly, he complied and released me. "Give us your keys," Felicia demanded. He dropped them into the grass near my feet and leaned down to pick them up while my friend kept the weapon on him. "We're leaving now," she told the driver. Slowly, the two of us backed up toward the cab, and just as Felicia was about to get in, the guy rushed towards us. I swung the keys in his face and made him fall backwards with a twist. Then, I leaned into the taxi and revved the engine. I shouted to Felicia to go, and she got in the passenger side before tossing the gun out the window. I didn't want to think the nightmare was over until we got away from that cabin, and as we drove off, I could see the guy scrambling in vain to follow us. Neither of us spoke for a good 20 minutes. Then, when I think both of us had the chance to really calm down, I said, "What just happened?" Felicia had been going through the glove compartment and found a few clues. The guy had kept clippings of articles about weird white supremacy and BDSM, weird smut magazines, and what looked like a locket. When we got back into town, we gave it to the authorities and, of course, had to give statements as well. The whole thing, honestly, truly felt wildly surreal. And I later found out that that guy had been wanted in a different state for apparent murder. I know a lot of people say they come face to face with a killer without realizing it, and this was definitely, literally one of those times. It still scares me to think about it. I've been through therapy, but it's just so hard to get over how close I truly came to dying, or potentially worse, all because my boyfriend decided to dump me. And I know it's not right to blame him. I wasn't thinking clearly, and maybe Felicia and I were just at the wrong place at the wrong time, but it could have gone so much worse. I guess the reason I even mentioned Caleb again is because when I told him about the whole ordeal, he just brushed this off like it was nothing. I know it sounded a little unbelievable that we went through all of that, but at least he could have had a little sympathy. I still to this day don't know what was in our conversation in the back of that taxi that just truly triggered that guy. Maybe because we joked about men or something like that. Who knows? Maybe that was just his intention from the very beginning. I have no idea. It was definitely the strangest, scariest, and most terrifying Valentine's I'd ever had.
I hate telling this story, not only because of how traumatic it was for me, but because it shows my age. My therapist tells me I should learn to look for the positives in things, so the only way I really know how is by making light humor.
Of course.
This was the early 90s, and I was about 16 going on 17 working as a regular babysitter in our neighborhood.
Okay, talk to me.
My parents had decided that the only way I was going to get a car would be if I was the one that saved up for the down payment. So every afternoon after school I would tutor kids or watch babies. Whatever I could do to earn a few extra bucks. There was one couple, the Moores, that always paid exceptionally well, and on Valentine's Day they had a special request for me to watch both their 6-year-old and their 10-year-old so they could go enjoy a romantic evening together. We will be back by 8, they said, and gave me about $50 just for ordering pizza, renting movies, and whatever the kids wanted to do. I asked them both what they wanted, and they both chimed in with a request to go to the local video rental store.
Here are 4.
Yeah, I'm always gonna remember y'all.
430.
I'm always gonna remember y'all, but I'll never forget y'all, bro.
That Blockbuster was not extremely far, but I insisted that I did not want to do that until I got confirmation from their mom. This being the age before everyone had cell phones, I had to look up the phone number in an actual phone book and call the restaurant they were at. Those two boys were so eager to hear a yes from their mom I thought they might explode from excitement.
Of course.
It took
son,
about
come
15
on,
minutes
son.
for me to finally get in touch with their mom, who
Of course I'm
seemed a little
remembering, bro.
frazzled that the
Why would
only
I
reason
not
I was
remember
calling was so that we could go to Blockbuster. Yeah, that's fine, just do not spend all their money. And nothing rated R, she responded. When I told them, both boys squealed and ran to get their jackets. We left the house before it got dark and made it to the rental store in less than 10 minutes. Not surprisingly, it was empty save for the cashier and maybe one or two other customers. Go and pick out whatever you want, I told them as I grabbed some candy bars and popcorn. The oldest came back, first with a VHS of some Disney sequels.
Listen, it's certain names I'm always gonna remember for my eyes, bro, cause I see it so much, bro. I'm always gonna remember y'all, but y'all know that, bro.
And asked if this was okay. I told him yes, and then asked where his brother was, only for him to be surprised that I did not know. Both of us went down the aisles looking for him, and for a split second I got scared thinking he decided to play some terrible prank and run off. Finally, though, I saw him standing near the edge of an aisle, talking to a tall, lanky man wearing a trench coat. As soon as I saw this guy, I got a weird vibe and grabbed the younger boy's hand. Sorry, I hope he wasn't bothering you, I nervously told the stranger. He smelled funny, as if he had not taken a bath in a while.
Ew.
He had this weird, crazy look in his eyes that told me he was trouble. I just had a feeling. I desperately wanted to be wrong about it, so I yanked the kid away and berated him as we made our way towards the cashier. What were you telling him anyway? I asked. Just that we were renting some movies and that we were home alone, the kid said innocently. I couldn't tell you why, but alarm bells did not go off in my brain right away. But I guess I was too busy paying for the movies and dragging them out of the store. When we were walking back toward the house, it finally registered what he told me. Did the man ask you if you were alone? I asked. My heart was starting to beat a little faster, but I did not want the kids to think I was worried. Out of the corner of my eye, I thought I saw someone following us. Yeah, he seemed friendly, asked a lot of questions about me, the younger boy responded. I picked up the pace and told them we need to hurry back to their house. I was positive now that we were being followed. I remember I looked back several times to see where this man was, but every time, it felt like it was just barely out of sight. He was a master of stealth. Once, I was inside their house. I slammed the door shut and locked it. I chided the kid for being so stupid. Don't ever talk to strangers. That man could have done some serious harm to you. I remember thinking I should punish them by having them go to bed early, but I had no idea how right I would be about that. I glanced out the windows to see if I could spot him, and calming down, I went ahead and
Hey, Halo, don't let it happen again. Don't let it happen again.
Let them pick a movie. I was also trying to convince myself my paranoia had just been that. Less than 10 minutes later, we were watching the Angels in the Outfield movie. I heard a knock at the door, and that made me realize maybe I had not been cautious enough. I went to the front and peeked through the blinds, curious to see that no one was outside. My heart was pounding now as I thought I saw the man in the trench coat standing over near the bushes. I immediately told the boys to pull the blinds closed and then to turn off the lights. Next, I started to hear this stranger banging on the windows with what sounded like a stick. Was he just trying to frighten us? If so, he was doing a stellar job because I was terrified. Turn off the TV for now. Let's go to the bedroom, I said. I remember that the Moores had a house phone up in their master suite, so I was calmly trying to herd the kids there as this wacko kept rattling against the outside of the house. These kids were quite scared now, especially the youngest. He was crying. Be quiet. Don't be scared, I told him. As we ran up to the bedroom, I told them both to stay as quiet as they could as I reached for the phone, only to find the line was disconnected. This is the moment when a real sense of panic and dread was starting to overwhelm me. It was just past 6:30, meaning their parents would not be home for at least another 45 minutes, and now the phone lines are down. I was positive that this stranger was going to try and break in and do us harm. Still, I insisted that they needed to remain quiet and calm. I got the older one to assist me in moving furniture to the front door as a blockade, just in case this guy broke in. It is a good thing I did, because 20 minutes later, I heard the shattering of glass and realized that's exactly what he planned to do. I told them both not to make a sound as I tried to listen where the stranger was. The one thing about the whole experience I will never forget is that the stranger started to whistle for us. like he was looking for a dog. It was loud and sharp. It was an insistent whistle, and he kept saying, "Here, boy. Here, boy. Come here, boy." I swear I've never been more scared in my life, and I ordered the boys to hide under the bed.
How did it get so big?
The footsteps came up the stairs. I was sure we were about to die. It happened just like a horror movie, too. He was standing outside the door because I could see the silhouette of his shadow peeking under the master bedroom door. Then, the blockade of furniture started to rattle as I heard him fiddle with it. He shook it violently, for a while, but to no success. Then another long, indescribably quiet moment. I thought maybe he had given up. The kids were trying their best not to squeal or scream or even cry, but it was so hard to be perfectly still. At any second I knew he was going to be back. Then, he slammed his body against the door, and it came slightly ajar. I remember jumping and holding the boys closer as he did it again, and then again, until at last he could squeeze in past the wedged furniture. All I could see was his shoes, leather boots that looked coated in mud. He walked slowly over to the bed and sat down, perhaps puzzling over where we were. He started whistling again, and I had to cover the younger boy's mouth as he let a leash fall over the ledge of the bed. Did he know where we were? What sort of weird fetish was this supposed to be? He walked around the room, moving to the closet first and checking for us there. Then we heard the garage door downstairs. I have never been so happy. Immediately the stranger ran down and I heard shouts of alarm as Mr. Moore likely saw him escape. A few seconds later, Mrs. Moore was in the bedroom frantically searching for us and calling out for her children. I crawled out first and helped the youngest get out as she grabbed him and hugged him as tight as possible. Downstairs, Mr. Moore was trying to get the landline again to connect the cops, but it did not work. Honestly, I thought the crazy guy was going to come back and do us harm, so I did not even want to step outside the house until my own parents came to pick me up. Mr. Moore told me that I was very brave and paid me extra for helping keep his kids safe. My parents also told me I had acted swiftly and decisively, and it could have turned out a lot worse. But I did not feel immensely proud. I had trouble sleeping for a week or so after. Any sound of a dog barking or a whistle would trigger the memory and make me want to curl up in a ball and hide. I can honestly only share it now after all these years, thanks to a bit of therapy. Sometimes I do think about what could have happened. Still though, if those parents had not shown up early, he would have harmed us or probably killed us. The cops never did catch whoever that guy was, so I guess we will never know. Except at least I know I stopped babysitting for the upper class after that.
The story took place during a difficult time for my family. My mother and father had just divorced, and my mom was trying to get on her feet again as a newly single mother of two. My dad got into a bad accident, and he almost didn't make it, so he couldn't do much to help my mom physically or financially. So my mom moved us from New York to Pennsylvania, a new state but not terribly far away. This way my mom was closer to her work. My little sister and I were having a hard time with so many new changes. Parents divorced, almost losing our father, living in a new place, and starting a new school. We started to get a hang of things, and soon it became easier. I started making new friends, and it all seemed like it was going okay. I noticed this guy that would always follow me around the school, and if I'm being honest, I didn't mind. We'll call him Greg. Greg was very attractive, and we began to talk a little. Not too much, just the normal what's your name kind of stuff. Soon I found myself having a small crush on him. It was totally based off of looks because again, we didn't talk much and we hardly knew each other. This is going to sound so stereotypical, but it's true. When I came home from school, I began feeling very watched. I didn't know by what or who, but I just couldn't shake the feeling. Then later on, Greg would mention small things there would be no way of him knowing. For example, one night my mom asked me what I wanted for dinner, and I told her my favorite, tacos. The next day he made a comment along the lines of, "You like tacos, so do I." And at first I thought it was just a coincidence, but then it became too many coincidences, and I started to put it all together. So now comes Valentine's Day. We had to give everyone in our class Valentine's Day cards. I got all mine and never really looked at them until I got home. I got one from Greg. It was just the standard card with nothing special. Until I noticed I had gotten an extra card with no name. It had a mushy love poem written on it, followed by, "I love you," and "I'm watching." Instantly, I panicked, and at the same time I sighed in relief. It's creepy someone wrote this and claimed to be watching, but it also validated I was right, and I wasn't being crazy or paranoid. I took out the card from Greg and compared it to the card with the poem.
This experience...
I don't know what I'll do in this situation right now.
The handwriting didn't match, but I know if it were me doing this, I'd be smart enough to change my writing up. Still though, I had no proof it was this guy at this point, and I had to get creative. I thought to myself, Greg has to know I like him if he's really been watching me. I've talked about him to my sister, and I've said how cute I thought he was and all of that. And that's when it hit me. Aha, I'll carry on like normal and bring up a conversation with my sister in a few days. And I'll mention another guy instead of him. If Greg says anything about it, then I'll know for sure it was him. So I waited a couple of days to have this conversation with my sister, so it wasn't so obvious I was baiting him. I picked out a guy that was pretty cute and believable, but also a guy that I've never spoken to or had any ties to. So no one could suspect anything going on with this guy without hearing it from me themselves. So I did it. I told my sister. Just like clockwork, Greg approached me. He sat next to me silently and art class started. We started drawing and then it happened. He looked at me dead in the face and said, "I know you don't like me. You like Kevin." My heart dropped, and I didn't have much to say other than, "I don't even know Kevin." In my mind, I was even more freaked out, and even more relieved to know it was definitely him. The story has a boring ending, because after this, we moved back to New York. Thank God. I still stay in touch with some of my friends I made at that school, and a few weeks ago I was catching up with one of them. She mentioned Greg and informed me that he had been arrested. Apparently, he beat his girlfriend, and beyond that, there was an investigation going on, and Greg was apparently charged with sexual assault.
What?
Greg really did a number on this girl. She had to be put in the hospital. And all I can say is thank God I got out of there when I did. Who knows what his intentions were with me? And remember, crazy does not have a look. Even the most attractive of people can be crazy stalkers. Number 3. Last Date. Submitted by Abby B. My last date didn't turn out too well. Valentine's Day 2016 I had made plans to go out. For privacy reasons, I'll change the guy's name to Jacob. Jacob was very tall, had green eyes, and much like me, a single parent. I just got back to dating after I left my ex, so I wasn't expecting much, but somehow we hit it off. He seemed so nice. He had a profession though that I knew I was scared of, but that didn't really matter. I mean, I didn't really call him my boyfriend or anything. I began to realize that I didn't really like him. I didn't tell him this, and I would tell him not to come over anymore. And this is where it gets weird. Jacob did come over one last time, so I could tell him I didn't want to go back out with him. He said he understood. He said he would leave me alone and not bother me anymore. Then it happened on Valentine's Day 2016. I had made plans to go out with someone else. I had my kids stay at their father's house. I was out and having a nice time with this new guy. I felt more comfortable with him, and I had no reason to be scared of him. I spent the night at my mom's trying to clear my mind, when all of a sudden my phone rings. I pick up my phone, and it's my landlord. He said to me, "Abby, did you have someone come over the last 2 nights?" I replied, very confused, "No, I haven't been home." She replied back something like, "Don't be scared to say it, but are you and the neighbor having an affair?" I stop and think, and then I remember, the neighbor and Jacob look exactly alike in the dark. You could easily say one is the other. "No, I'm not having an affair with the neighbor, but are you sure it was him? Did you see him go back to his house?" My landlord said she never saw him go in my neighbor's house or mine. She's only seen the guy on Valentine's Day and the day after.
Whoa.
I talked to my neighbor and I know it can't be him, as he told me he wasn't home. Let's call her Darla, because I want to respect her. Darla and I were pretty good friends. We hung out and had a few classes together. She had previously told me she was gay, and I respected that. Frankly, I was proud to be her friend. So what are you going to do for Valentine's Day? She asked me. Jessica heard, and knowing my Valentine's Day curse, she butted in. Probably be sick in bed all day and watch anime. People around us laughed, even me. But Darla didn't. She kept a straight face and kept staring at me.
What's wrong with anime?
I was kind of creeped out, but I didn't say anything and kept talking. But as Valentine's Day kept getting closer and closer, she would keep a better eye on me, constantly wanted to be around me. It must have been 4 or 5 days away from Valentine's when she sent me a message. Hey, are you awake? It was about midnight, but I happened to be awake. Yeah, what's up? Oh, I just wanted to make sure you were okay. I'm fine. It's 12, Darla. What did you need? Well, I love you, Moon, is what I remember.
Hey, did you...
We gotta see where this is going.
I did fall asleep, tired after waiting for a response for 30 minutes. The next day when I saw Darla, she ran at me and pushed me against the wall and screamed, "Why didn't you answer?" Jessica had to pull her off of me, but I couldn't believe what had just happened. I froze watching Darla scream at Jessica that I was hers and that no one else could touch me. After that, I ended up going home early. Randomly, I had gotten a text from Darla. She apologized to me for everything she did. I said it was fine and I forgave her, but over time we just stopped talking. Our friendship faded into distant memory. One day, as I was on my way to church, I looked up from my phone to see a poster. One of those police missing people posters, but with Darla's picture.
Whoa, she missing?
My heart sank. I had a friend who we can call Abby. I asked her what had happened to Darla, because she still went to the same school as her. Apparently after I left, Darla became distant, and soon she went missing. The negative people say she killed herself, and others say she just ran away. After everything that happened, I can't help but feel that I was responsible.
I used to love Valentine's Day. I used to love all the cutesy displays and Valentine's-themed stock items we put out in the Walmart I worked at. And I used to love picking out something special for my boyfriend after planning a little date night with him.
Yeah.
But we're not together anymore, and I'm not much of a romantic these days either. In fact, I dread February 14th coming around each year because it reminds me of one of the single worst moments in my entire life. So like I said, I worked at Walmart when this all happened, and it actually happened in the store too. I love the decorating and checking out the romantic stock that we'd gotten in that year, but I usually tried to get Valentine's Day off. Or if I was working it, I'd trade shifts with a coworker. But this one year, I can't get off, and no one would trade with me, so I was stuck working 8 till 5 on Valentine's Day. But it's no big loss. I can wait for my presents, and me and my boyfriend arranged to do something after work anyway, so I took it on the chin. Right after I finished my lunch break, I happened to be walking by one of the Valentine's displays when I see this older guy staring at some of the items. I thought it was the cutest thing ever. This sweet older gentleman looking to pick his wife up something romantic. Or maybe he had his eye on someone in the nursing home he was at. Either way, it was super adorable to me. So I saddled up to the old guy and asked him who the lucky lady is. He's all startled for a moment, again kinda super cute, and has to compose himself before he gives me his answer. There was no one special in his life. He was just something of an old romantic, and seeing cutesy displays like ours on Valentine's Day made him long for lost loves of his. I remember he said that. I then asked if he had his eye on anyone new, and he starts talking in a way I found kind of confusing at first. Like I thought I may have misunderstood, maybe lost the context a little, but after a minute of him just sort of babbling, I realize he's not making any sense at all. He keeps skipping from thought to thought, just like a stream of broken consciousness coming out of him. It was right about then that it hit me that he wasn't all there. That was also about the time that I realized he wasn't that old either. I mean, all his hair was gray. He had like an old man jumper on, but he was so animated when he talked. He seemed sort of spry, like full of nervous energy, and at a push, I'd say he was in his mid-50s. But something about him just seemed off, and I was starting to think that initiating conversation hadn't been the best idea on my part. I wish him luck with who the lucky lady turns out to be, then slowly make a move to walk away. But he stops me, not with a word. I mean, he physically stops me from walking away. He didn't grab me or anything at first. It was just his fingers gently half wrapping around my wrist, but it was enough to really put me on edge. Then he asked me in a way that seemed both extremely childlike and extremely sinister, both at the same time. "Will you be my Valentine?"
Boy, no.
It was so surreal that initially I thought he had to be joking. Like no sane person would ask anyone that in a serious way. Not like that, anyway. So I just sort of laughed it off before apologizing and letting him know that I was seeing someone, and right as I do, I try to pull my wrist out of his hand. He tightens it, wraps his entire fist around my wrist, and squeezes. I just froze for a moment. In almost 2 years of working at that Walmart, I've never had so much as an issue with a customer. Maybe it's because I'm short and blonde, maybe it's because I'm just lucky. And because that whole interaction went from 0 to 100 so fast, and given my total lack of experience in any kind of conflict management, I just had no idea what to do. So I froze.
Hey, is your Mac secret?
The guy starts turning red in the face and he continues to squeeze my wrist as hard as he could. There are veins bulging out of his neck. He's trembling so hard his eyes are starting to water, and he is strong. Like really freaking strong. Then what he did next haunted me for months afterwards. He gets his face right in mine, while I'm absolutely frozen in terror, and starts singing. He tried to keep his voice down, but he couldn't get the words out without his words trembling from whatever weird rage fit he was going through. After 2 lines, I just start screeching for help, but as soon as I start making any noise, one of his hands shoots up around my throat and pushes me back hard against a shelf. And when he starts squeezing, I stop being able to scream. Then, one of his other hands goes somewhere else, somewhere I really wish he hadn't put it. But when he did, I finally found the strength to really fight back. But it was over moments later. Some other customer had come barreling down the aisle when he heard my scream and tackled the guy so hard that he almost floored me too. And if the guy seemed crazy before he got tackled, afterward he turned into a full-blown lunatic. He actually bit the guy who first got him down, and if it wasn't for security showing up as quick as they did, I think he might have actually gotten free. He was legitimately frothing at the mouth by the time the cops showed up. I've never seen a person look like that before. That guy was more animal than man by that point. And the fallout was huge. Walmart sent me to some trauma management thing that didn't help at all, and sent emails around to the other associates promising they'd do better with security and stuff, but it was all just for show. I gave statements to the police too, and for a while, it looked like I'd have to go to court to testify against the guy that assaulted me. But as it turned out, he was found unfit to stand trial, and instead of going to real prison, he ended up in some state hospital somewhere else. When it was all said and done, I just tried to get over it. It was one of the more horrific moments of my life, sure, but I refused to let it define me. And for a long while, I worked on my overall mental health and particularly my sense of self-esteem. I thought I was good after that. I thought I was fixed. So there was no way of me anticipating what would happen when I met a friend at this 50s diner that was our favorite place to eat. We're just sitting there, conversation on hold while we eat, and the song comes on the old jukebox. Until the lyrics started, everything was fine, but then these 2 girls started singing some words that I thought I'd gotten out of my head completely. I know you belong to somebody new, but tonight you belong to me. I recognized it instantly from the weird little changes in pitch in the girls' voices, but it was the exact same song the guy in Walmart had sang before he grabbed me. I know I caused a bit of a scene when I got up and fast walked out of there, with my friend calling after me, but I honestly didn't care. I couldn't breathe while that song was in my ears. I just couldn't be there. I suppose trauma is weird like that. No matter how much you think you have it under control, it's still there, bubbling away just beneath the surface. But I do work at it, and I managed to neutralize how that creepy old song made me feel too. I mean, it took a while, but I managed it. Like I said, I'm not going to let what happened define me, and I'll wear my wounds with pride. But Valentine's Day is most definitely ruined for me.
Alright, y'all. We better watch that Driving that Night one. This is about to be the last one I was. I'm not gonna lie to you.
I love to adventure. I've been to almost all 50 states. I've seen my fair share of diverse.
Actually, y'all, we're gonna watch that tomorrow. Actually, when everybody else is up, cause I know a lot of people's gonna go on to sleep. We're gonna watch that tomorrow. Definitely gonna watch that tomorrow. Because the people who voted to watch that, they're not in the chat no more. They went to sleep. I'm gonna watch that tomorrow. Yeah, I'm just watching tomorrow. I ain't gonna do that. So yeah, I ain't gonna lie. I just wanna say, I love y'all. I'm about to go to sleep. I ain't gonna lie. I'm about to go to sleep, man. So yeah, I love y'all. Y'all like, comment, subscribe, and I'm out, bro.